Heather Stevens is dead. Daniel sinks in grief. The coming week on The Young and the Restless appears to be fully loaded with lots of drama and suspense. The characters are going to experience bursts of emotions like anxiety, revenge, and guilt. Daniel will be drowning in grief after losing Heather, while Sally and Billy will be on the edge. Adam will feel dejected and confused, while Audra and Dane will get vengeful over Kyle. Suspicious Nick will now get closer to understanding Sharon's mental struggle. But will he find her truth? Let's find out. Character struggles with different emotions. The Y&R spoiler for the week of October 7 to October 11, 2024, reveals a chaotic situation for the residents of Genoa City. The sadness is about to take over the characters as they will face grim realities of their life. Daniel Romalotti will be grieving the pain of losing his wife, Heather Stevens. He will realize that she is not missing, but is rather gone forever. He will find her lifeless body and will realize that his wait is over. Heather will not be coming back ever. Spoilers suggest that Daniel will take his time to get over the shock, and as soon as he gets back in his sense, he will burst in anger and remorse. Speaking of difficult emotions, the weekly spoilers also features Adam Newman heartbroken because of repeated rejection from Chelsea Lawson. Adam will be confused, wondering whether to give up on Chelsea or pursue her consistently. We will find his character a little dejected and in search of love, though we can expect Adam to continue his persuasion of Chelsea for love. But would he get distracted by someone along the way? Only time will tell. In the meantime, Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott, who were brought closer by the betrayal of Adam and Chelsea, will be fighting the temptation to be with each other. The spoiler suggests that soon they will struggle to resist the attraction. Though Sally had claimed to Audra Charles that she will not stoop so low for revenge, but it does not seem so. Rather, we might get to see Sally and Billy cozying up together in bed. While Sally had previously established that she wasn't going to cozy up with anyone for revenge, it is possible that she and Billy will find real intimacy. Vengeance in the air. Other Y&R spoiler reveals Kyle Abbott's grim fate as he has invited vengeance upon himself by messing up with the ladies around Genoa City. Audra Charles will target Kyle for ruining her image in front of Victor Newman. Clearly, she will not spare Kyle on any front, be it personal or professional. We should expect Audra to give Kyle a taste of his own medicine by getting him fired from Glissade and trash his relationship with Claire Newman. Audra won't be the only one trying to pull Kyle down. Diane Jenkins Abbott will want revenge from Kyle too. Diane, who is trying to rebuild her relationship with her son, will now be seen taking another route. She will now want to revenge on Kyle for stealing her idea of the new moisturizer from her laptop. Diane will not be going easy on Kyle, as he did not only steal her idea, but also shared it with Victor. It looks like Kyle will be on the edge from all ends and will have to save himself. Sharon struggles with guilt. Moreover, the spoilers also reveals Sharon Newman's deteriorating condition as she's burdened with guilt for killing Heather Stevens. Sharon's illness will be taking its worst form in the coming episodes as she'll try to cover up for her crime. Sharon will once again hallucinate Cameron Kristen, who will suggest Sharon to stay calm to avoid getting caught, but it's not going to be easy. The spoiler suggests Sharon will have many fingers pointed towards her, and this includes that of Daniel, Lucy Romalotti, and Phyllis Summers. Nick Newman will closely observe Sharon through all this will eventually realize the gravity of her illness. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tangled Candy. It's me, Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The coming week on The Young and the Restless appears to be fully loaded with lots of drama and suspense. The characters are going to experience bursts of emotions like anxiety, revenge, and guilt. Daniel will be drowning in grief after losing Heather, while Sally and Billy will be on the edge. Adam will feel dejected and confused, while Audra and Dane will get vengeful over Kyle. Suspicious Nick will now get closer to understanding Sharon's mental struggle. But will he find her truth? Let's find out. Character struggles with different emotions. The Y&R spoiler for the week of October 7 to October 11, 2024, reveals a chaotic situation for the residents of Genoa City. The sadness is about to take over the characters as they will face grim realities of their life. Daniel Romalotti will be grieving the pain of losing his wife, Heather Stevens. He will realize that she is not missing, but is rather gone forever. He will find her lifeless body and will realize that his wait is over. Heather will not be coming back ever. Spoilers suggest that Daniel will take his time to get over the shock, and as soon as he gets back in his sense, he will burst in anger and remorse. Speaking of difficult emotions, the weekly spoilers also features Adam Newman heartbroken because of repeated rejection from Chelsea Lawson. Adam will be confused, wondering whether to give up on Chelsea or pursue her consistently. We will find his character a little dejected and in search of love. Though we can expect Adam to continue his persuasion of Chelsea for love, but would he get distracted by someone along the way? Only time will tell. In the meantime, Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott, who were brought closer by the betrayal of Adam and Chelsea, will be fighting the temptation to be with each other. The spoiler suggests that soon they will struggle to resist the attraction. Though Sally had claimed to Audra Charles that she will not stoop so low for revenge, but it does not seem so. Rather, we might get to see Sally and Billy cozying up together in bed. While Sally had previously established that she wasn't going to cozy up with anyone for revenge, it is possible that she and Billy will find real intimacy. Vengeance in the air. Other Y&R spoiler reveals Kyle Abbott's grim fate as he has invited vengeance upon himself by messing up with the ladies around Genoa City. Audra Charles will target Kyle for ruining her image in front of Victor Newman. Clearly, she will not spare Kyle on any front, be it personal or professional. We should expect Audra to give Kyle a taste of his own medicine by getting him fired from Glissade and trash his relationship with Claire Newman. Audra won't be the only one trying to pull Kyle down. Diane Jenkins Abbott will want revenge from Kyle too. Diane, who was trying to rebuild her relationship with her son, will now be seen taking another route. She will now want to revenge on Kyle for stealing her idea of the new moisturizer from her laptop. Diane will not be going easy on Kyle, as he did not only steal her idea, but also shared it with Victor. It looks like Kyle will be on the edge from all ends and will have to save himself. Sharon struggles with guilt. Moreover, the spoilers also reveals Sharon Newman's deteriorating condition, as she's burdened with guilt for killing Heather Stevens. Sharon's illness will be taking its worst form in the coming episodes as she'll try to cover up for her crime. Sharon will once again hallucinate Cameron Kristen, who will suggest Sharon to stay calm to avoid getting caught, but it's not going to be easy. The spoiler suggests Sharon will have many fingers pointed towards her, and this includes that of Daniel, Lucy Romalotti, and Phyllis Summers. Nick Newman will closely observe Sharon. Through all this will eventually realize the gravity of her illness. But to find out whether he discovers her involvement in Heather's murder, we have to wait for The Young and The Restless spoilers. Till then, keep following Soap Opera Daily for more fresh updates on your favorite soaps. Also, do share your thoughts on the fate of Sharon Newman's character on Y&R. The Young and the Restless spoilers for October 5, 2024. Daniel's home security camera stolen. In this episode of The Young and the Restless, the drama intensifies as Daniel Romalotti discovers that his home security camera has been stolen, raising suspicions and heightening tensions in Genoa City. Here's what to expect on this action-packed Saturday. Daniel's panic. When Daniel realizes that his home security camera is missing, he is immediately on edge. The stolen camera represents more than just a security breach. It raises concerns about his safety and privacy. As he delves into the mystery of its disappearance, he starts to suspect that someone close to him might be involved. Suspicions rise. As Daniel investigates the theft, he enlists the help of his loved ones. Lily and Billy are drawn into the fray, and their differing perspectives on the situation lead to tension among the group. Will they be able to piece together what happened, or will their conflicting views create more chaos? The shadow of the past. The theft brings up past traumas for Daniel, forcing him to confront unresolved issues. Flashbacks of his tumultuous history will be interspersed throughout the episode, providing viewers with a deeper understanding of his character and motivations. Potential culprits. As the investigation unfolds, several characters come under suspicion. Viewers will be left guessing who might have taken the camera, with clues pointing toward various residents of Genoa City. Is it someone from Daniel's past, or is there a more sinister motive at play? Confrontations and revelations. Expect emotional confrontations as Daniel confronts those he suspects may be involved in the theft. These interactions will reveal hidden agendas and secrets, leading to shocking revelations that will change the dynamics among the characters. Setting up future drama. This incident sets the stage for further intrigue and conflict in upcoming episodes. The implications of the stolen camera will ripple through Daniel's relationships, creating tension that may lead to unexpected alliances or rivalries. Tune in for this gripping episode of The Young and the Restless as the mystery of the stolen security camera unfolds, promising suspense, emotional depth, and character development that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Next on The Young and the Restless, full episode Friday, October 4, 2024, Y&R spoilers 10/4/2024. In the upcoming Young and the Restless episode airing on Friday, October 4, 2024, expect more intense drama and shocking revelations as Genoa City's biggest players face life-altering decisions. Here's what's coming up. Audra's power move. Now that Audra is poised to take control as Abbott CEO, she continues to plot against Diane and Kyle. Audra's manipulations come to a head as she puts her plans into action, determined to destroy Diane and get Kyle fired. Daniel's search for truth. Daniel is devastated by Heather's presumed death, but a new clue may change everything. He tracks down Heather's missing phone, which leads him to an unexpected and dangerous location, Sharon's room. Tensions rise as Daniel questions what really happened and whether Sharon knows more than she's letting on. Kyle's defense. Kyle, still reeling from the growing hostility towards him at Abbott, finds himself at odds with Audra. As she tries to push him out, Kyle's loyalty to his family is tested, forcing him to make a tough decision about his future. Romantic struggles. Love is never simple in Genoa City. Nick and Sally's relationship hits another snag as they face a new round of obstacles, while Lily and Billy navigate the challenges of running Chancellor Winters together, trying to keep their professional and personal lives in balance. Don't miss this exciting episode of The Young and the Restless as the drama escalates and new mysteries unfold. Catch all the action on Friday, October 4. Young and Restless is taking us on a dark ride courtesy of Sharon's psychosis, and good or bad, this story has everyone talking. Of course, other characters' lives are continuing to unravel all around her as well. Here's a look at what happened and what's coming up. Trouble in Paradise. Cracks have been emerging in Jack and Diane's relationship ever since she decided to can Kyle, and those fissures are about to become a chasm. Indeed, we see them having yet another public disagreement in the preview for next week. And this one ends with Diane walking out. While Jack's been well and truly blinded by love for eons now, it seems Billy's recent comment opened his eyes just a tad. That remark, of course, was, "Word on the street is that you're losing power at Abbott to your wife." That was followed up by Diane demanding that they hire someone for Kyle's former position, and totally dismissing Jack's concerns. Fast forward to next week, and Jack has clearly said something to his wife about overstepping, as she explodes and accuses him of not accepting that she's changed. Maybe that's because she hasn't. Where's it all headed? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Diane Jenkins Abbott has already been fed up with Kyle Abbott, but she'll soon have a new reason to lash out. Now that Kyle has made another sneaky move against his mother, Diane is sure to want revenge. Diane has been pleading with Kyle to stay at the Abbott mansion with Harrison Abbott instead of moving out like he plans. However, living in the same house with Diane clearly has its disadvantages for Kyle. Kyle happened to come along and find Diane's laptop, so he checked and found that it was still logged in. That allowed Kyle to snoop and ultimately give Victor Newman, Eric Braden, intel on an incredible moisturizer that's in the works at Abbott. Now Glissade has an opportunity to move ahead with the project, so Diane will surely be furious once she finds out what Kyle has done. Of course, it'd be fun if there was a twist, right? What if Diane assumed Kyle would make a move like that and intentionally planted fake product info to see if he'd take the bait? Unfortunately, Diane isn't quite as skilled in thinking ahead with chess moves and making predictions like Victor, so she may have just left her computer logged in by mistake. Regardless, the fact that Kyle was willing to get on Diane's laptop and steal intel says a lot about his character. Kyle constantly plays the victim and then does stuff like this to prove he's earned all the backlash he's received. The truth is that Kyle undermined Diane nonstop and finally got booted out of Abbott for it. Kyle can whine about that all he wants and even bring up Diane's past mistakes to justify his actions, but it's his own fault that he lost that job. Now Kyle is trying to make a name for himself at Glissade, but is he really doing that when he still has to steal Abbott's products instead of developing his own? Kyle deserves a downfall, so we can only hope that Y&R has a big one brewing sooner or later. As for Diane, she'll surely retaliate against Kyle in some way after his latest theft. Diane might wash her hands of Kyle at this point, since she's not sure what else she can do to repair the relationship. Since Kyle's willing to get down in the mud and hurt Abbott in the process, the claws may come out when Diane decides to fight back. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Diane and Kyle have another major blow-up ahead no matter what, so stay tuned for updates on the bad news that's looming. CDL will have other fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news to check out, so make us your top source. Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Chance Chancellor recently hung up his corporate suit and was sitting on the fence about heading back to law enforcement. Sure, he liked working at Chancellor Winters, which eventually turned into Abbott Chancellor, but the drama with Billy Abbott got to be too much. He made a great cop at the Genoa City PD, so it sounds like he'll head back there. Will his first case be the murder everyone is talking about? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Chance Chancellor has a good gut instinct. Y&R spoilers imply that Chance is a stellar investigator. He doesn't always just look at the face value of evidence. He also doesn't leave any stone unturned. To boot, he has a great instinct and can tell when people are lying. Plus, Chance has a personal connection to all this, as he and Heather dated at one point. He'll want to get to the bottom of things, but is he ready to find out who exactly is behind Ms. Stevens' murder? Y&R spoilers. Will he be the one to figure out the truth? Y&R spoilers suggest that if Chance is the investigating officer who will lead the case, then things could get sticky. He once also shared a romance with Sharon Newman and knows all about her mental health issues. More than that, they were, and are, still friends, thanks to his relationship with Ray Rosales. How complicated will Chance's life get when he realizes Sharon could be the one who killed Heather? Not to imply that Chance would ever cover up a murder for a friend, but he'll be heartbroken when he gets to the bottom of things. The Young and the Restless spoilers, or will he? Fans know that Sharon blacked out during her encounter with Heather, so there's still so much speculation that she may not have killed her. In the land of soaps, it's totally possible that while Sharon was on the couch, unconscious, someone else broke into the apartment and took the opportunity to murder Heather for whatever reason. As Chance is so thorough, could he end up saving the day for Sharon? Will Chance head back to the police department? Will his first case be Heather Stevens' murder? Comment below. Watch Y&R on CBS Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and check out this site, often for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Friday, October 4, reveals that Sharon Newman will continue expressing her condolences to Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Lucy Romalotti, but she'll make matters worse when she starts asking questions about what happened to Heather Stevens. Lucy will get the feeling that Sharon suspects it wasn't an accident, so she'll push her to spill if she knows anything. Once Daniel sends Lucy to the car, he'll blast Sharon and insist she needs to give them some space right now. Next on Friday's Y&R episode, Phyllis Summers will break the news to Summer Newman and Chance Chancellor about Heather's demise. Young and the Restless spoilers imply that the cat is completely out of the bag now, and everyone knows that Heather Stevens is not out of town clearing her head. Rather, she has passed away. Sharon Newman dumped her over a bridge into a river, and it didn't take long for Heather's body to surface. As Daniel Romalotti's and Lucy Romalotti's world crumbles, could a familiar face return to help ease the pain and get to the bottom of things? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Daniel Romalotti's dreaded phone call. Y&R spoilers imply that during the Thursday, October 3 show, Daniel had to make the dreaded phone call to Heather's dad, Paul Williams. In an emotional, one-sided conversation, Daniel gave Paul the news about Heather's passing and asked him to come to Genoa City. Could this foreshadow a return? As a longtime law enforcement agent and private investigator, Paul's comeback to GC would not only be for Heather's memorial and to be with Lucy and Daniel during this hard time, but he could place his investigative skills to good use and find Heather's killer, whether that's Sharon or not. Y&R spoilers. What are the chances? Y&R spoilers suggest that Paul's return is unlikely, but anything is possible in the land of soaps. Then again, maybe he does return, but all his conversations and meetings with others take place off-screen. There's only one actor who's ever played Paul, and that's Doug Davidson. Unfortunately, he was taken off contract in 2018 and was last seen on canvas in 2020. In fact, Paul's exit storyline to Portugal and failed marriage to Christine Blair all took place off-screen. Many fans were upset when Paul exited storylines, and the character was brushed under the rug. After all, while he was on the Y&R, he was the longest-serving character on the show. While there seems to be little chance that Doug Davidson could be enticed to return, especially since he wasn't part of the Y&R's 50th anniversary special back in 2023, Y&R viewers can only hope that there is a chance Paul and Doug could come back for this special storyline. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, October 7, reveal that Cameron Kirsten will keep urging Sharon Newman to do what needs to be done. There was a time when that meant poisoning Daniel Romalotti Jr., but now Cameron sees him as Sharon's get-out-of-jail-free card. If Sharon truly wants to avoid her own stint in the Slammer or Fairview, Cameron will feel like she has to pin this on someone else. Who better to take the fall than Daniel, since Cameron still believes he should suffer? Cameron will probably argue that the husband or boyfriend is always the first suspect in situations like this. Y&R spoilers say this is Sharon's opportunity to lean into that and make Daniel look like the culprit. Sharon may have some reservations since Daniel is already grieving a terrible loss, so framing him for Heather Stevens' grisly outcome feels downright cruel. Nevertheless, Cameron may contend that it's deserved since Sharon has spent a huge chunk of her life mourning Cassie Newman. Besides, if it comes down to Sharon ending up in handcuffs or Daniel taking the fall instead, Cameron may argue that they both know who she has to choose. Sharon will hopefully think of Lucy Romalotti at some point and remind Cameron that she'll be all alone if Daniel lands behind bars. Even so, Cameron may insist that bratty kid will be fine and can just be shipped back to school in Portugal. Whatever the case, Cameron will feel like this Daniel setup has to happen. It looks like Cameron will make a prison prediction and keep painting this picture where Daniel's locked away while Sharon gets off scot-free. Sharon will eventually slip into Daniel's penthouse again and plant some incriminating evidence. That blood-drenched towel will go inside Daniel's cabinet as Sharon lays the groundwork for him to become suspect number one. Of course, Sharon's plan may not work out as well as she's hoping. This could lead to the cops taking a much closer look at Daniel's penthouse, so there may be trouble if Sharon left any trace of herself behind. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the walls will inevitably close in on Sharon as her plot goes off the rails, so stick with us for updates on all the chaotic news ahead. Young and the Restless comings and goings confirm Vale Bloom is officially out as her character Heather Stevens is shockingly murdered. No doubt, her death sets the stage for a ton of drama moving forward on the CBS soap opera. Young and the Restless comings and goings. Heather Stevens murdered, Vale Bloom out. Recently, on Young and the Restless, Heather Stevens caught Sharon Newman in her apartment. Sharon was there to poison Daniel Romalotti, but she couldn't go through with it. She almost got away until Heather showed up. She was angry that Sharon was in her home without permission. They argued and things got intense. Then, when Sharon tried to leave, Heather wouldn't let her. She wanted to call the cops and Sharon panicked. She completely blacked out and when she came to Heather was on the floor, her head covered in blood. Of course, Sharon was a mess, but she had to protect herself, so she dumped Heather's body off a bridge. Her body was just discovered and news of her death is spreading. Sharon is trying to keep it together and not seem suspicious, but no doubt she's in a world of trouble on Young and the Restless. While Vale Bloom did confirm her exit, she said there's still a possibility for resurrection. Also, Heather might not be gone for good just yet. Sharon's been envisioning Cameron Kirsten, and she might start seeing Heather next. She may sort of haunt Sharon and intensify her guilt over killing her. Perhaps it will push her into a confession. Y&R casting updates. Cameron Kirsten next? Now that Sharon Newman has taken out Heather Stevens, it's only a matter of time before she's caught. Then, she will either end up in prison or the mental health institution, Fairview. And if she starts to get help for her mental breakdown, that will likely mean the end of Cameron Kirsten. Of course, he could still hang around for a while after Sharon's put away. Then, when she gets better, she should be able to get rid of him. Of course, she'll gain bigger problems because once she's in her right mind, she may still face jail time on Young and the Restless. Plus, she must eventually face her family and the citizens of Genoa City after taking Heather's life. Indeed, Sharon has a long road ahead of her. Young and the Restless casting news. Sharon Newman exits too. This dramatic Y&R storyline might mean some time off-screen for Sharon. She may face a lengthy stint in prison for murdering Heather. However, everyone knows she is not well and hasn't been for some time. Undoubtedly, the insanity plea could very well work for Sharon. When her bipolar disorder is under control, she's a good person, not a ruthless killer. Plus, she has no memory of the altercation with Heather on Young and the Restless. But either way, she will be put away, so she'll likely be gone for a while. Then, when she's out, she might be unable to face her kids or anyone in town, causing her to take off, at least temporarily. No doubt, the fallout will be massive and everlasting. Y&R is getting a wild shakeup. Don't miss a minute to see what comes next for Sharon after killing Heather Stevens on the CBS daytime drama. In a shocking twist on The Young and the Restless, Audra Charles is set to take the helm as Abbot's new CEO. Her ambitions don't stop there, as she has her sights firmly set on destroying Diane Jenkins and firing Kyle Abbott. Here's what to expect in this thrilling storyline. Audra's power play. Audra's rise to CEO marks a significant shift in power dynamics at Abbott. Her ambition and cunning nature will be on full display as she navigates her new role, showcasing her willingness to do whatever it takes to assert her dominance. Targeting Diane. With Diane posing a threat to her plans, Audra is determined to undermine and sabotage her. Expect strategic moves and manipulative tactics as Audra aims to take Diane down, using every resource at her disposal to achieve her goal. Conflict with Kyle. Kyle Abbott, who has been a supporter of Diane, finds himself in Audra's crosshairs. Audra's plan to fire Kyle will lead to dramatic confrontations between the two, as he defends his mother and stands up to Audra's ruthless ambitions. Allies and enemies. As Audra works to solidify her position, she will likely form alliances with other characters who share her disdain for Diane. This may lead to unexpected partnerships, creating a web of intrigue and betrayal within the Abbott family and Abbott. The aftermath. Audra's ruthless pursuit of power will have far-reaching consequences for the characters involved. Relationships will be tested, loyalties will shift, and the fallout from her actions will resonate throughout Genoa City, impacting everyone from the Abbott family to Abbott's employees. Diane's resilience. Diane will not go down without a fight. Viewers can expect her to leverage her own connections and strategies to defend her position and counter Audra's machinations, leading to a battle of wits between the two women. Future storylines. This power struggle sets the stage for ongoing conflicts and drama within Abbott and the Abbott family. As Audra attempts to solidify her power, expect new storylines to emerge, including potential romances, betrayals, and unexpected alliances. Don't miss the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless as Audra takes charge at Abbott, igniting a fierce battle against Diane and Kyle. Prepare for intense drama, emotional confrontations, and unexpected twists that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. It's not an easy job, but clearly someone's got to do it. Of course, we're talking about the Young and the Restless actress Vale Bloom and her final scene on the show as her character Heather. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. The Young and the Restless star Vale Bloom opens up about playing dead. The actress opened up to TV Insider about her character's last moments on the canvas. She said, "It was difficult staying in a contorted position for so long, I can tell you that. The next day, I was like, oh, I think I gotta get a little massage or a stretch. It is surprising how difficult it is to lay there still in an awkward position. I was like, I'm not a diva, I'm totally fine. And the next day, I was like, ouch, I'm stiff, so that was funny to me." Vale also opened up about working with some of her favorite co-stars, including Sharon, who plays Sharon Newman on the hit CBS soap. She said, "We had a lot of fun. Sharon is extremely relaxed in between scenes, and she's very go with the flow. There are certain actors that are not as go with the flow, and there are certain actors that are neutral. She rolls with it, and she really brings a lot to play with." The Young and the Restless news. What's next for Vale? She doesn't have an ego that you sometimes see in acting. She's really humble and so chill in between scenes. At the end, we were like, oh no, what are we going to do now? Oh, let's link up outside of work. And of course, there's also Michael Graziadei, who plays Daniel Romolotti. Vale said, "My absolute favorite. He's just so full of life, and he's funny and a really nimble, talented actor, but he's also hardworking. He doesn't wing it, he does the prep work, and he's always making jokes, so he makes it fun on set. I think that's probably a large part of why my experience was so positive." The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. The Young and the Restless spoilers preview video for the week of October 7 to 11 reveals that fans will see some fierce face-offs and surprising developments. There will be a lot happening in Genoa City, so let's start with a furious Diane Jenkins Abbott. It looks like Jack Abbott will question Diane's agenda. Jack may drop some hints and suggest there might be some truth to Kyle Abbott's assumption that Diane is power-hungry. Of course, Jack will try to make that suggestion delicately, but he'll still manage to rile Diane up. Diane will finally snap that she doesn't think Jack's ever fully committed to the fact that she's changed, and not the same manipulative bitch she used to be. Although Jack will try to settle Diane down, she'll fling her napkin down at the athletic club and prepare to walk out on him. Diane will declare that she's sick of it and presumably stomp off while Jack's left there alone. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman will sneak in Daniel Brumalotti Jr.'s penthouse, where she'll plant the towel she used to mop up Heather Stevens' blood at the crime scene. Y&R's weekly preview video shows Sharon shoving that towel in Daniel's cabinet, but will her sloppy attempt to frame Daniel fool Chance Chancellor? Chance will ultimately pay Daniel another visit and suggest something surprising came up when he tried to trace the location of Heather's phone. Since Sharon downloaded an app to block it from being tracked, Chance may figure that out blocker and pass along updates. Sharon might end up stashing Heather's phone in the cabinet, along with the towel, as part of her efforts to frame Daniel. Cameron Kirsten will certainly keep pushing Sharon to make Daniel look like the guilty party. However, Chance will tell Lucy and Daniel about one more person he plans to question. Will Sharon make a mistake and land on the hot seat, or could there be someone else? Heather was supposed to be at a job interview shortly before she went missing, so Chance would be smart to retrace her steps and find out what he can from that employer. Our predictions point to Sharon's cover-up falling apart sooner or later, so she'd better prepare for all the chaos headed her way. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of October 7 to 11 will bring some twists in the Heather investigation, so stay tuned for more news on the case. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Cameron Kirsten will continue to pressure Sharon Newman to do the unthinkable. It's bad enough that Sharon seemingly caused Heather Stevens' grisly outcome, but Cameron still wants her to wipe out Daniel Brumalotti Jr. too. Cameron has been stuck on this idea that getting rid of Daniel for good is the only path to closure and happiness for Sharon. Of course, Cameron is just a twisted manifestation of Sharon's worst thoughts and impulses, but his presence is a real force in her world. Cameron clearly has a tight grip on Sharon's psyche and could drive her to make another move she can't take back, even if Sharon isn't willing to stoop as low as Cameron is demanding. There's another possibility here. Cameron already offered to take over back when Sharon was contemplating the whole poison thing. We can't forget that Sharon doesn't even remember buying that poison bottle, nor does she recall the moment Heather lost her life. If Sharon won't target Daniel herself, Cameron may ultimately take over with scary results. It'd be interesting if Y&R actually filmed Cameron harming Daniel to illustrate exactly what's going on in Sharon's head. In other words, if Sharon isn't willing to make an attempt on Daniel's life, she may ultimately surrender to Cameron and let him do it for her. That doesn't necessarily mean Daniel will perish like Heather, but he could at least land in grave danger. There must be a reason why Cameron is still harping on Daniel's demise being the only way for Sharon to move on. This may be building to another blackout along with more horror once Sharon wakes up. Cameron previously wanted Sharon to poison Daniel's whiskey, but things may take a more gruesome turn if things go off the rails. Is all this building to Sharon's next crime? Will Cameron take over and target Daniel? With death comes grieving, and the loss of Heather Stevens is no exception. Daniel, Lucy, and Phyllis have been deeply affected by her untimely demise, but the sadness is far-reaching. Perhaps no one will mourn Heather more than her father, former Genoa City Chief of Police Paul Williams. It was during his devastating phone call with Daniel that a surprising development occurred. Daniel, having no idea how to tell the man that his daughter was dead, bit the proverbial bullet and made the call to Paul in Portugal. Choking out the unimaginable words, Daniel somehow explained to the ex-chief that Heather's body had been found in the river. He went on to say that he and Lucy were devastated and didn't know how they would go on without her. That's where the surprising twist came in. Daniel asked Paul to come to Genoa City to be with them. This was something we weren't expecting to hear, given that Paul has been off the canvas for years at this point, and absent on-screen through any number of crises, including the end of his own marriage. It was Christine who went off to Portugal to visit her estranged husband and came home alone to deliver the news of their divorce. Have you ever had one of those moments where you just can't help but wonder if it's all connected? The Young and the Restless brings a tantalizing tidbit that'll have you pondering. We all know that Nate Hastings recently received a cryptic text from someone named Amy Lewis. And guess what? One of Nate's ex-girlfriends, who's been totally MIA, is back on set. What are the odds, right? Catch the whole tea below. Will Elena join Nate to solve the puzzle? The regular viewers of The Young and the Restless know that Nate's been hanging in the background lately. He's playing the supportive cousin at Chancellor Winters and giving relationship advice to his love interest, Audra Charles. However, it looks like the universe is finally throwing him a bone with this shady text. Do you think it's a setup for a new storyline? As Nate dives into this mystery, he will need someone to confide in. We know Audra isn't exactly the kind to give off warm and fuzzy vibes, so who should he turn to? We believe Elena would be perfect. She was always so understanding and gave the best advice. Speaking of Elena, Brittany has been spotted back at CBS Studios. The Y&R actress shared a super cute IG story standing in front of a dressing room door. Additionally, the note on the door reads, "Welcome back, we missed you." The sign also says 13,000 episodes, which makes us wonder if she's there to hit that milestone. In her post, she said she's just popping in to say hi to the fam, tagging Y&R's official handle. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Shock as Claire discovers Kyle pretended to love her to keep his position as Glissade CEO. In a jaw-dropping twist on The Young and the Restless, Claire is devastated when she uncovers a shocking truth. Kyle Abbott never truly loved her. Instead, he faked his feelings to secure his position as Glissade CEO. For weeks, Claire believed she had found true love with Kyle, but his manipulative actions come to light, revealing that his romantic involvement with her was nothing more than a power play to maintain control at Glissade. The revelation leaves Claire heartbroken and furious as she realizes she was just a pawn in Kyle's ruthless pursuit of success. As the truth comes out, the fallout will be explosive. Claire will have to decide how to confront Kyle and whether she can forgive him or if she'll seek revenge for his betrayal. Kyle, on the other hand, must face the consequences of his deception, which could destroy not only his professional life, but also his personal relationships. This shocking revelation is sure to shake up the lives of everyone in Genoa City, especially with the high-stakes power struggles at play. Will Kyle lose everything, or can he somehow salvage both his career and his shattered relationship with Claire? Stay tuned for the intense drama ahead.